cannot wait for them to countersue. What a clown show.
Well, I didn't have to wait long. It's here, folks. It's already here because early last week, Virtual Dining Concepts filed a countersuit against Jimmy Donaldson, aka the MrBeast. And the lawsuit is odd for many reasons. And one of those reasons is what they're asking for. One, it's a whole lot of money. And number two is a restraining order that, if granted, would silence MrBeast's complaint about VDC and their management or mismanagement of MrBeast Burger. I've broken down MrBeast's initial complaint, and I want to do the same for this VDC case and see whose punch in round one lands harder. And spoiler alert, I ordered MrBeast Burger about 39 minutes ago before I started filming, and I want to see how long it takes to get here. So far, this has been a mostly odd swearing match, in my opinion, these two lawsuits. Like Jimmy in his case is saying, the food is bad and you never paid me anything. And in their lawsuit, VDC doesn't say, oh, we've paid him everything, which is kind of curious. And also they don't say the food is good. They just state that they've done everything that they're required to do. Now, I'm gonna check on the food myself by the end of this video, I hope. But the lawsuit itself has 8 causes of action or claims, and that's breach of the ESA, breach of the LEA, breach of the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, request for an injunction, tortious interference with contractual relations, tortious interference with prospective business advantage, declaratory judgment. Whew, that's not exactly what I would call a small list. The most interesting piece of this lawsuit for me has to be the 4th cause of action, the request for an injunction against Beast Investments and Jimmy Donaldson personally. This is the claim in which VDC says that MrBeast and company have violated the Endorsement and Services Act, and they are asking for a permanent injunction precluding defendants, including Mr. Donaldson, from disparaging Beastburger and plaintiffs, and from enticing away, persuading, or attempting to persuade clients, customers, suppliers, market partners, and other vendors to discontinue their relationships with MrBeast Burger or plaintiffs. To put it shortly, they want a restraining order not unlike the one that Damon John got against the Baker family that I covered in my video last Friday. Check it out. They want a judge to tell Jimmy and Beast Investments that he's not allowed to make any more damaging tweets or comments about VDC or Beastburger. And also, my burger is still not here, and I'm getting hungry. But wait, Jimmy would never do that, right? He would never disparage someone, except that VDC is claiming he already did. And in their lawsuit, they're delivering 5 tweets to the judge to convince him or her to grant the permanent restraining order. So in today's video, I want to take a look at each tweet and see if they are actually as disparaging as VDC claims. What we're looking for here is a negligently or intentionally false statement that could or did lead to an economic injury for VDC. Let's just jump right in. Tweet number 1. That's why I'm now so focused on Feastables instead of Beastburger. Virtual restaurants make it hard to guarantee the quality of the order. Feastables, I can actually be confident you will get what you buy. That's 3 sentences in that tweet. The first reason that this is likely not considered defamatory is that it's about Jimmy, not about the burger chain. It's about where his focus lies when it comes to his companies. The second reason is that it's true. It's a statement about Jimmy's internal mindset. The second sentence is implicitly about Beastburger, but just that with a virtual restaurant, it's hard to guarantee the quality. Now, is that defamatory? Maybe, but probably not. If you put this sentence in a different context, it actually could be used to defend the occasional misstep by the virtual restaurant. I wouldn't think that a judge would get worked up over this statement. The final sentence is again simply not about Beastburger. It's about Feastables. It's about Jimmy's internal mindset, or as attorney Tom always says, his grindset. If this is all there is on Twitter, Beastburger loses a big X. So let's look at the second exhibit. He says, if I had the ability to close it, I would have done so a long time ago. Sometimes when you're young, you sign bad deal. Okay, so this one is 2 sentences. Is it defamatory? Is either sentence defamatory? Probably not, and here's why. The first sentence is about Beastburger. It's a hypothetical about his own level of dissatisfaction with being tied to that brand. It's about, again, his own feelings. Is he implicitly saying that he's unhappy with the burger business? Well, of course, but it's more about his inability to extricate himself from the business. And so is the second sentence. He wants to be done with it. Like, I want them to deliver my burger. I just want it to be over with. This is not the positive hype about Beastburger that they would want, but it's not defamation, at least. I don't think so. But I mean, the burger chain doesn't come out smelling very tasty, for sure. Number 3, he says, I started MrBeast Burger to help restaurants make more money during the pandemic, and it worked. But sadly, when working with over 2,000 restaurants that I don't own, it's impossible to guarantee the order quality. I'm moving on from Beastburger so I can focus on Feastables and making snacks. Now, starting from the top, this tweet isn't necessarily about MrBeast Burger. It's about why he did what he did. At least, apparently, I would say that it's not a true statement in that the reason that he started MrBeast Burger was to make money. That's right. He's chasing that bag. Maybe that bag has burgers in it. I don't know. Where's my bag? Speaking of, although he is famous for being a philanthropist, it's a bit of a ludicrous statement to say that this project was just an act of charity. Now, the next sentence returned to his prior concern, which is that it's not possible to guarantee order quality. This is a true statement because it's true, it cannot be defamatory. It's simply not possible to guarantee total quality across 2,000 restaurants you don't own. He continues on to say that he's moving on from Beastburger. Again, this is a sentence about him and about what he's thinking and about what he's interested in, and not specifically negative about Beastburger. To me, I gotta say, I don't think it's defamation. Next up, in response to whether he'd retire MrBeast Burger, he says, I would if I could, but the company I partnered with won't let me stop, even though it's terrible for my brand. Young Beast signed a bad deal. Wow. Okay, so this one is interesting to me. When he says that he would retire if he could, that's a true statement. I mean, he's actually trying to retire the brand now, if you think back about what he said in his lawsuit. Obviously, it's not about reality. It's about a hypothetical situation. But again, he's talking about his own internal thought processes. Therefore, it can't be defamatory. But then he says that VDC won't let him retire the brand. Now, that's interesting in that it is about VDC. That means it actually could be defamatory. Except that thanks to both lawsuits, it's very well known right now, at this time, that it is a fact, a true statement. They don't want MrBeast to stop. They don't want Jimmy to stop. They want the court to compel him to keep on going. They want him to keep on trucking, like I hope my delivery person is doing. The tweet then reads that the Beastburger company is terrible for Jimmy's brand. That statement right there is about as close as we have gotten so far, in my opinion, to something that's potentially defamatory. He's definitely saying that being associated with the Beastburger brand is hurting him, like his own brand, which is something that very directly, although implicitly, disparages Beastburger. However, as you know, if the statement is factually true, then it's not defamatory, which raises the question, was the association with Beastburger bad for his brand? Well, that's what we have to analyze because it's asking for a qualitative assessment, which is hard to get an objective answer to. And the truth in a complicated situation like that is always going to be that in some ways, it might be bad for his brand. In other ways, it doesn't affect his brand at all. And then there are some ways in which it probably is good for his brand. So that could be a tough one. The next tweet. Yeah, it's impossible to guarantee the quality of orders with virtual restaurant. Hurts my soul to see orders messed up. Sadly, I can't get out of my deal with Beastburger, hence why I'm never giving up control of Feastables so I can always do what's best for my fans. Harsh lesson to learn. And I just have to say, as someone who has recently ordered a Beastburger and it's not yet arrived, I'm actually nervous that he just keeps saying over and over he can't guarantee the quality and that my food may be so bad that it hurts his soul. If it hurts his soul, what's it gonna do to mine? I'm the one that's eating it. Anyways, this is the fifth and final tweet that they quote from Jimmy Donaldson when they're asserting that a judge shouldn't muzzle him. Now, there's something new here. He's once again apologizing for the lack of uniform quality, and he's explaining that the problem is inherent with the virtual restaurant model. Because this can also be read to defend the lack of quality. I just don't see a court finding that that sentence qualifies as defamation, legally. And then the next sentence is an emotional reflection on the legal reality that he can't get out of his deal with Beastburger. This again appears to be a true sentence because without a judge intervening, as he has asked a judge to do in the primary lawsuit, he's stuck in his deal with MrBeast Burger. So that's a true statement. And this is his way of saying that he wants what's best for his fans. This is interesting. This tweet's focus is on his own thought processes, again, and his mindset, and that he would say that his concern is for the welfare of his fans. And I want to paint this not overly altruistically, because obviously he needs his fans to enjoy their interactions with his brand so that he can stay in business. But obviously, based on my prior analysis of the other statements, you know that I don't believe that this final sentence is even remotely close to defamation. So based on these 5 tweets, the only evidence so far that VDC has provided that MrBeast has disparaged them, will the judge gag MrBeast? That is the question. And according to the lawsuit, the parties' agreement bars Jimmy from making any disparaging, false, misleading, defamatory comments about the Beastburger company or its products and services. Well, that's a lot to digest. Why don't you hit the subscribe button while I chew on this? It's not undercooked. Whoa. Kind of peppery. It is not raw. It's pretty dry, but like my mom said, you're not supposed to shoot YouTube videos with food in your mouth. First of all, it's complicated because his statements are by and large just not directed at the burger business in a meaningful way. A lot of the statements are about the difficulties of quality assurance in a virtual restaurant concept. Others are about his own thoughts and feelings. I would have to say that there's nothing that he said that is false as it relates to Beastburger, and therefore it can't be defamatory, not legally. Surely nothing he said is misleading. I mean, it's all fairly straightforward. The only wiggle room is about this disparagement category, and those tweets are mild. They have no kick to them. It's hard to imagine a judge getting riled up about those tweets. And if I read the lawsuit correctly, he's already deleted the tweets or the X's or whatever you call them these days. On balance, no restraining order. I think MrBeast wins that count over Beastburger. But that's only the tip of the iceberg, lettuce. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this was an odd lawsuit for many reasons, and now it's time to catch up on that. Really? Catch up? Wow. Okay. One honorable mention is that the lawsuit is very, very vague as to money. They simply don't talk about the money that he has supposedly cost them. But as you know, it's always about the money. Always. And another thing that's weird about the lawsuit is that they don't file a counterclaim in MrBeast's original case. No, they file a separate, freestanding lawsuit. That won't work. These cases will end up consolidated. One judge needs to decide all the disputed issues between these parties. You can't have 2 judges entering competing orders. It doesn't work. In my humble opinion, round 1 goes to MrBeast. Now, we'll find out if the judge agrees with me eventually. But in the meantime, and there's gonna be plenty of time for it, you should drop your pro se opinion down below. Whose lawsuit do you think makes the stronger case? Are you pro or anti MrBeast Burger shutdown? And should I drop a breakdown of the 7 other claims in the VDC lawsuit on this channel? Let me know what you think in the comments, because I'll be back with a refill on the Beast versus Beastburger content if you would like it. So make sure that you lawyer up and subscribe to this channel. In the meantime, check these guys out. See you, bye.